Today's video tip is on the dumbbell upright row. Particularly, I'm going to show you the alternating version. But just real quickly before I get into the exercise, I want to talk about some of the issues with upright rows in general. Now, when you typically think of an upright row, most people think of somebody holding a barbell, hands very close together, and then bringing it up to here. Now, the problem with this version is that, well, there's several problems, but you can see the first is, let's talk about the height of my elbows here. Now, with my elbows up like this, my hands close in like this, I'm actually, due to the rotation of my upper arm, it is risking an impingement injury with particularly in the rotator cuff muscles, but an impingement, shoulder impingement. It's one of the common problems with upright rows. Whenever when you continue doing rep after rep like that with poor form. You guys have seen my Smith machine version. I use a very wide grip and only bring it up to about chest height. See where the elbows stop? That prevents the wide grip. Not only involves more of the middle deltoid head and even the rear deltoid head, as one study found, but it prevents that rotation of the upper arm, and because you're not going so high, it doesn't put you at a risk for that impingement issue. Now I want to talk about dumbbells. Dumbbell version. Now the dumbbell version, it's nice because each arm is free to move independently of the other. And now, so when you think of dumbbell upright rows, you typically think of someone holding them and pulling them up, and hopefully they're stopping right about chest height. Now I like doing them alternating, and I'll tell you why in a minute. It's mainly because you can focus on each shoulder independently, and research shows that when you focus on one arm at a time, you tend to have more strength than that arm would have if you're using both at the same time, and it has to do with the nerve impulse that you're getting. Your brain's able to focus more on sending all the signals and more synchronized signal to the one working arm than it can to both arms. So I do like an alternating version. I'm not saying that's the only one I do. I switch it up all the time, but with an alternating version, you can either do nice and strict form. Now you notice my arm, my elbow, you see, is going out. So this is mimicking using a wide grip on a barbell, and each arm is independent of the other, so it's nice free movement and doesn't put me at risk for impingement. Now, the way I really like doing these is more explosive, to build more power and strength, particularly if you're someone who does power cleans or clean and jerks and snatches, because it's going to help build that power on that as you pull up the bar. So what I like to do is this version, this alternating version, which is a bit more explosive and uses more of the body and looks a bit like this. So I'm using my legs to help drive it up, much like I would during a power clean. Now, another way you can do this is to combine both those versions. And so you're going to start out explosive when the fast twitch muscle fibers are not fatigued. And then after anywhere from 3 to 5 or even 8, you can switch it up now and finish with slow and control to put more emphasis on that deltoid head. Now, as far as reps and where to put in your workout, it's a multi-joint shoulder exercise. The only other one really is barbell or dumbbell presses, overhead presses. So it's one of the few multi-joint shoulder movements that you can do. So I tend to typically I'll do shoulder presses, typically followed by some version of upright rows before I go into my raise, single joint raise exercises for middle delts and even front and rear delts. So that's usually where I put it, but doesn't mean you can't pre-exhaust and do your lateral raises first and then go into the upright rows. Rep ranges, just like I always recommend, guys, very heavy, down to 3-5 rep ranges, to very light, up in the 25 and even 30 and above. Mix it up, periodize your reps. Let me know how you like it. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. show me how you're using it and whether you are feeling it as intended, and stay Gym Army strong, guys.